In the study of genetics, understanding how traits are inherited is fundamental. To grasp this, we often turn to genetic diagrams, which serve as visual tools to predict and explain the outcomes of crosses between individuals based on their alleles. At the core of this is the concept of dominant and recessive alleles. Dominant alleles are expressed in the phenotype when present, while recessive alleles require two copies to manifest. Let's consider a simple example. A gene that dictates flower color in a plant, where the allele for purple flowers, P, is dominant, and the allele for white flowers, P, is recessive. If we cross two heterozygous plants, both with the genotype PP, we can predict the outcomes of their offspring using a Punnett square. This diagram allows us to visualize all possible combinations of alleles that the offspring can inherit. When we set up our Punnett square, we write the alleles of one parent along the top and the alleles of the other parent along the side. In this case, we have P and P from one parent and P and P from the other. Filling in the squares, we find the following combinations: PP, 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 and PP. This gives us a ratio of 3 purple-flowered plants to 1 white-flowered plant, or a 3:1 phenotypic ratio. However, if we focus solely on the genotypes, we see that there are 1 PP, 2 PP, and 1 PP, leading to a 1:1 genotype ratio. Now, why do we see this 3:1 ratio in phenotypes? The dominant purple allele masks the presence of the recessive white allele. Thus, both the homozygous dominant PP and heterozygous PP plants will display purple flowers, while only the homozygous recessive PP will show white flowers. This is a classic illustration of Mendelian inheritance, where the dominant trait overshadows the recessive one. Understanding these ratios is crucial because they allow us to predict the likelihood of certain traits appearing in offspring. In practice, this means that if we were to conduct this cross repeatedly, we could expect approximately 75% of the offspring to have purple flowers and 25% to have white flowers, following the predicted ratios closely when dealing with a large number of offspring. Interpreting family trees or pedigrees is another essential skill in genetics. Pedigrees chart the inheritance of traits across generations, providing insights into how traits are passed down through families. By analyzing these diagrams, we can determine whether a trait is dominant or recessive. For instance, if a trait appears in every generation, it is likely dominant. Conversely, if it skips generations, it may be recessive. In a pedigree, males and females are represented differently, and affected individuals are typically shaded. By examining the relationships and the presence of the trait, we can make predictions about future offspring. This is particularly important in human genetics, where understanding inherited conditions can inform medical decisions and family planning. To summarize, mastering genetic diagrams and their interpretations is essential for predicting and explaining the outcomes of genetic crosses. By understanding dominant and recessive alleles, we can use Punnett squares to visualize potential offspring combinations, leading to clear predictions of phenotypic ratios. The ability to interpret family trees further enhances our understanding of inheritance patterns, allowing us to trace traits through generations. This knowledge is not just academic. It has real-world implications in breeding programs, conservation efforts, and medical genetics, underscoring the importance of genetics in our lives. Thus, as we delve deeper into the world of genetics, we equip ourselves with the tools to understand the intricate dance of inheritance that shapes all living organisms.